Hey guys and gals, welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel. Obviously, I want to give everyone a warm welcome. This is going to be my first official video, and on this channel we're just going to be talking about finance, investing, everything stocks and crypto. And of course I'm going to give my 2 cents on all the technical analysis that's going on in the markets right now. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and as you've seen in the general crypto market, everything is down. Now Bitcoin is down 12% in the last 7 days, although in the past 24 hours we've seen a little bit of a pump. Ethereum is down a whole 18% there, Cardano minus 20%, Solana minus 22%, and everything's ranging right now in this 21,500 region here. And if we go onto the trading view, you can see this is quite a technically important area. And it's an important area because obviously we just had this massive crash happen. As you can see, we've just had the price go from a good 23,500, 24,000, all the way down to below 21,000, all in the space of under a day as well. This happened a few days ago if you have been keeping track. And you know, you see some of the headlines out there. They're saying, well, we don't know what causes. Maybe it's down to inflation. Maybe it's down to this man Gox releasing a lot of Bitcoin that people have been waiting for. But is it all that surprising that this price dropped? Actually, not that surprising. If we see here, we've actually got a very important technical pattern happening. You can go and draw some trend lines here. And what we have is this kind of support here that goes across like this. And of course, if I just put this in a different color so that we don't get confused. Let's put it in a nice pink there. In fact, that's a bit too close to red. Let's put that in purple. We can see we have this level of support here that's generally rising, and you know it's been supported several times. Once there, once here, and finally here just before the drop. So there is a total of 4 times that this level got supported, and again we've got this kind of resistance going across like this. And again there's a few times where the price touches resistance there, and finally there. Now basically what this is painted is called a rising wedge, and this rising wedge here is actually a bearish pattern. So what we'd expect to see as the price is going up is that the price breaks through the level of support, and that's where you'd place a short trade on BTC. And had you done that, you'd have ridden this wave all the way down from around 23,800 down to under 2,100. In fact, if we have a look on Investopedia, you can see this is almost textbook example. So you can see this rising wedge here demonstrated in Investopedia, and you can see Bitcoin here, and they're very, very similar. And what's very interesting as well is this section here where it says, one thing experienced traders love about this pattern is once breakdown happens, the target is reached very quickly. So an aspect of the rising wedge is that once it breaks below the rising wedge support level, then the price action happens quickly. And as you can see, it really, really has. So there is a lot of speculation in kind of the news headlines and stuff about why this BTC crash has happened, but technically it's actually not unusual at all. This breakdown is just a result of what happened with the rising wedge here. The one aspect that didn't quite match, of course, was the volume. So if we have a look at the volume, typically what we want to see as well is the volume. We want to see the volume declining. I'm just going to put a moving average on that volume there so you can see the general pattern. But basically we want to see this volume decreasing, which is what we kind of saw a bit earlier on. You see the moving average for the volume is going down, down, down. But as it goes into this rising wedge here, it actually stays kind of level. So the volume there was a bit misleading. Typically we'd want to see the volume going down when the rising wedge is occurring here. But anyhow, the price action here resembled the rising wedge, and now we're down to this level here, and this level has been tested a couple of times. As you can see before, it's been tested once well over here. Sorry guys, my computer's being a bit slow. It's been tested here, and now it's being tested here again. So let's have a look at what's going to happen with Bitcoin in the short term. Let me just get rid of some of these things to make it a bit clearer for you. Very moment, we basically here, if we go onto shorter time frame, the 1 hour charts, you can see that actually we're printing another fairly common pattern here. This is the double bottom pattern. You can see the double bottom is defined by two peaks at a similar price level, and this is actually potentially bullish reversal pattern here. So basically the price touches a very similar price level twice, and it also has a well-defined neckline, and that neckline is where the price pumps to after touching the bottom once and before touching the second bottom. So this here would be the neckline, and what we'd expect to see is if this pattern has completed is that and what we should see is a price target that's actually the distance here times this breakthrough here. So if we just move this price, the distance between the neckline and the peak all the way to this side, we could potentially see Bitcoin pump here all the way back to 21,800. So this is the very short term. I think we've completed a double bottom pattern here, so we're going to see a short relief pump quite possibly. But as to the direction past there, well, it's going to be a little bit unclear. Of course, if we can stay on this bullish side, then maybe we can see Bitcoin hit this next price target here, which is going to be back to 23,400, which is very, very possible. This is a long line of support, by the way, for the Bitcoin price. So this would be an area of strong resistance if the price pumps up to there. But what I think is probably slightly more likely in the short term, just with how the economy is doing, how the stock market is overheated. Of course, guys, I'm going to refer to the stock market when I talk about BTC as well, because they're very correlated. But what I think is more likely is that this price probably going to come back down to this important level here. So it's going to test this a few more times, and if it does break beneath it, then we've got a very important level underneath as well. Sorry about my computer again, it's being extremely slow, but we can see the price again drop down to this level, 19,800. So that is where I'd be looking to potentially buy in. Of course, it's a very long-term level here. That's why it's in gray. This level here was the resistance for the 2018 Bitcoin pump. So I think we'd see a lot of support at this level. And of course, it's been tested a few more times here back in 13th of June when Bitcoin came from 30,000 to 19,000. So again, a very long-term level here that I think if we break underneath, then we could see a massive drop all the way down to this next level here, which is around the 17,200 level there. But of course, it's a bit unclear as to what is going to happen. Of course, the stock market does look overheated, so that's why I think the downside is probably more probable at this point. But at the same time, you know, I think there is a lot of economic news that's already been priced into a lot of the stocks and the cryptos. I think we've heard everyone has prepared for the worst in the markets now. Everyone's heard about all the inflation fears, all the recession fears and stuff like that. So it's not new news for anyone that we're going into a recession. I think that could potentially already be priced into the prices of cryptos and stocks at the moment. So we could actually very well see the prices go up to this level here and potentially go and flip this level of resistance here, make this a support, and then from there we would probably use this line here as our next level of as resistance potentially. And if we can break through this line as well, then this will be our price target up here, the 28 to 30,000 region, which has been a very historically important resistance and support zone here. So that is where I think we could see the price going if we break through some of these major resistances along the way. But of course, it's all dependent on what's going to happen in the markets. Like I say, cryptos and stocks are very, very correlated, and cryptos are going to be very correlated with each other. So that's why we check the price of Bitcoin. And in another video, I'll be doing the technical analysis for other cryptos as well. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for out on Bitcoin at the moment. We're at an important place. We've just completed this double bottom pattern, and now we could either see the price go up to this support level of this resistance level of 23,400, or we could see it crash down to this level of support at 20,800 and quite likely 19,800 800 here. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. And so I hope you like this video, guys. I'm going to be posting more videos a lot more regularly come September. That's when I'm going to rent out an office space for me to make these videos. So I'm going to be posting hopefully 2 to 3 times a day on technical analysis on different stuff. But yeah, if you like this video, if you like the pace of it, then be sure to like it. Also subscribe if you want more content like this. If you have any criticisms for me, please do comment below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.